Should you renovate a home that you've lived in for decades before selling it? Right? You're thinking about selling your home. Maybe you've even consulted with a real estate professional, and it's like, okay, do I renovate certain areas or the whole house before I sell it to get the most money? I'm gonna share with you some reasons why you should or shouldn't, okay? So let's break it down strategically. So the first one is, don't renovate for taste, renovate for return on investment, or ROI. Okay, only do the renovations that will increase the value in your home and actually give you a return on investment that is satisfying. Okay, so if you're going to put money in your home, do it to increase the sales price more than it costs. Okay, or significantly, reduces time on the market. So if your house is renovated, it'll sell faster, typically, if you do the right things. So a full kitchen remodel, think about that. It's rarely worth it before selling because kitchens are expensive to renovate, okay? Full bathroom overhaul, that could be overkill. So buyers, think about this. Buyers don't pay top dollar for your upgrades. They pay for things like condition, cleanliness, functionality, layout. Layout's a huge one. And location, right? Location. Okay, not your personal design preferences. They don't pay for that. Okay, especially if it's trendy. Stay away from trendy designs and upgrades, okay? Second one is fix what scares buyers. So we have to know what scares home buyers, and that, think about roof issues, foundation cracks, water damage, that's a big one. Old mechanical systems like an old air conditioner, old furnace, old water heater. Matter of fact, I had a client that just let me know that they changed their water heater that they've had for 20 years when the average lifespan of a water heater is about 10 years, okay? Electrical or plumbing problems, that scares people, okay? These oftentimes kill deals as well. So focus on that, right? Cosmetics don't kill deals, okay? Deferred maintenance does. Number 3, the 30-year trap. So, excuse me, after living in a home for 30 years, you stop seeing things that buyers will notice, okay? Worn carpet, yellowed trim along the wall, outdated light fixtures, heavy drapes, too heavy drapes, okay? And then wallpaper. I know there's a trend right now. You're watching this, it's 2026, and there's a trend to put wallpaper on accent walls. That's all fine and dandy, but if you have rooms that have wallpaper, the buyers just get scared away from that, okay? So here are some cheap fixes with a strong return on investment, okay? Fresh, neutral paint, okay? No funky colors. Updated light fixtures, deep cleaning, hire someone to do that, by the way. Landscaping refresh, think curb appeal. Hardware swaps, so changing out doorknobs, hinges, believe it or not, that makes a difference. Cabinet doors, door handles, okay, you can change those out to a more modern piece of hardware. And then removing clutter, declutter, purge, get rid of stuff. All right, oftentimes that's enough, right, to give you a pretty good return on investment. Number 4, know the market. Know what's going on in the housing market. Whether you do the research yourself or you consult with a real estate professional, know what's going on in the market. If you're selling in an area where updated homes dominate and buyers expect move-in ready homes, okay, that you might want to do some light updating like I mentioned earlier in number 3, okay? So think hyper local, okay? What's going on in your neighborhood? Number 5, here's some brutal truth, okay? Some sellers renovate to avoid accepting that the home is dated, okay? That the market value isn't what they hoped it would be, or the next chapter is starting. I see this with my senior clients where, they feel overwhelmed because they have to sell the home to fund their next chapter, whether going into assisted living or a smaller home, whatever it is, okay? And they tend to feel overwhelmed because their house is not updated, hasn't been updated. Maybe there's some deferred maintenance going on where they didn't address key systems. Like I mentioned, the AC, the furnace, things like that, the roof, okay? You're not remodeling for yourself anymore when you're considering selling. you're exiting an asset, right? It's exit strategy. You're getting out of it. So before you spend $1, okay, get a pre-listing walkthrough. I mentioned this in other videos, and I tell all my seller clients that you should get a pre-listing inspection where a home inspector comes out before you sell, before you put your house on the market. And what happens is they do an inspection of your home and they provide you a report card. That way there's no surprises. Every home seller should not be surprised when a home buyer comes through with their inspector and they find mold in the attic, which is common, something going on in your crawl space or your basement, okay? A homeowner should not be surprised by that, okay? And lastly, price it correctly. Price the home correctly based on what you feel the market's doing, okay? What you've learned and what maybe the advice you have gotten from a real estate professional, things like that, okay? So the smartest move in a nutshell is declutter, paint, fix defects, price properly, and sell the home. I hope you guys found this episode valuable. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching.